Hello there everyone, welcome back to a brand new video. Today I'm actually going to talk about part 3 or series 3 of the What If I Was Showrunner or slash writer of Doctor Who, which is very cool. This is already like the third part and this is going to be the last final chapter of this entire big story, which is really cool. But we'll see eventually in the future. Maybe I could make like a series 4 or 5 or 6. I don't know, maybe, but still, ladies and gentlemen, this is very cool. If you haven't watched series 1, which is the first episode I made around this certain story, and also series 2, go check those out because they're going to be linked in the description so you can still follow along. And yeah, let's get into it with the first episode, Aron Z. I forgot to mention this in my second video that I did about series 2, but my series are 13 episodes long with one Christmas special, kind of like they did back in 2005 and 2006 and 7 I believe. So yeah, there we go, just want to clear that out, so alright, let's go. So right, the Doctor and her companion are still traveling throughout space and time, and now they're in New York, 1920s. They're chasing down an alien or a monster, I guess, which is actually kind of interesting because this episode would be like in black and white, but only the monster's eyes would be in color, which is really interesting. So right, let's go to episode 2, which is the Doctor's daughter returns. In this episode, the Doctor and also her companion, which is called Kim, travel to a planet where there is like some civil war going on with two groups of political parties, whatever. But anyway, the Doctor's daughter is also there, and they eventually meet and eventually stop the conflict and save the day. Why not? That's cool. So the TARDIS gang goes to Loch Ness up next, oh yeah, for real, to Scotland, where they eventually kind of, try to investigate certain noises that's been going on in the city, I guess, or in the lake, and the Doctor finds out because, Loch Ness is like a lake, right, but Monster of Ness, like the monster of Loch Ness, is kind of dying, so the Doctor needs to save she or her, or it, I guess, but he ends up dying. But at the end of the episode, we can see an egg that's been broken. So there's another one. So I guess happy ending. Loch Ness still, or the monster of Ness still, lives. The next episode is called The Jinn Who Conquer Earth, or The Jinn Who Can Conquer Earth. I don't know. I'm not quite sure about the title yet. But, so, there are actual jinns, right? Like those from the stories, right? And the Doctor actually stops them because they want to intervene with the planet of Earth, because they actually want to destroy it, because they want to have like a very high speed supply smuggler's route or something. So yeah, the Doctor stops them for them not to destroy Earth. So there we go. The next episode is called A Problem or a Mistake in Ancient Greece, where the Doctor and Kim go to ancient Greece, but the Greeks think that the Doctor is a god. So she doesn't really like that because she just helps people. She goes to Mount Olympus, where she actually tries to open up a secret door and goes to the gods, which are actually super intelligent, superior humans from the far future. They traveled back in the past and try to take over the Greeks with all their beliefs and mythology and stuff like that. So the gods let the people forget that they ever thought that the Doctor was supposed to be a god, but then they actually, banish the Doctor and Kim to the underworld because they actually trespassed into the Mount Olympus, which, is number one rule. You can't really trespass somewhere, right? So there we go. So now that they're banished in the underworld, they actually meet a time god or a god of time in ancient Greece, which is called Aion, A-I-E-O-N or A-A-O, whatever. He's like the god of like the universe and time. He's like a circular ring behind his back, which is really cool. So yeah, there we go. And he warns the Doctor about the coming fight that she needs to face. So ooh, mysterious. Anyway. So the Doctor actually escapes the underworld and Kim too with the help of Persephone, which is like the wife of Hades. And yeah, there we go. She actually, is kind of mad, I guess, to the gods that they banished her and Kim in the underworld. So, they probably have some quite epic conversations, and, the Doctor is always right. So there we go. And yeah, so the Doctor leaves the gods and she's very angry at them, obviously. So yeah, there we go. The next episode is Mysteries in Bruges. Ooh, that's cool. So as a Belgian, I obviously know this pretty well. Like this place, I probably walk around here daily or weekly or whatever. Weekly probably. But anyway, so this story goes as follows. So the scene opening for the episode will be at the Belfort, which is the famous church, where there is a new museum where they just got a new object, which is actually some kind of statue. The Doc and Kim are traveling or exploring the city as tourists do, and the museum has a statue of a horse with a mermaid tail. So that's kind of like description of the, I guess, ancient Belgian folklore character. So that's also kind of nod to Belgian culture right there, because why not, right? That's really cool. As obviously I am Belgian. So the doctor eventually finds out that this creature lurks in the night and. Ghosts between like the buildings. Is it even a word? Like anyway, so it travels between like the different buildings and tries to scare people off, but the doc actually finds out it's connected to a statue in a museum, and it's actually some kind of a repeller beacon which actually tries to defend his place where it stands, right? So the doctor shuts it down, and yeah, there we go. The city is saved once again, which is really cool. Bruges is the place to be, man. I love that city so much. So right, the next episode is called The Space Ninjas of Babwa, which is Babwa is just an alien planet that I made up. Anyway, so an elite group of space ninjas terrorize the local village. They want one thing, and that's actually a gem or a gem worn by a surgeon, which actually refers to the doctor, obviously. So the doctor actually, helps the village out, and the ninjas actually steal that kind of gem, which is like a thingy that he actually made in the first series that I mentioned, which actually they trapped Omega inside of. So if you don't know really what happened, go watch that first video. So to find out what happened. So yeah, there we go. And these ninjas sell it on the black market. Obviously, it's a really cool space ninjas, man. There we go. That's epic. So the next episode is called "The Base in Ohio." I know, it's Ohio. It's nothing to do like with the memes. I just like the title. So alright, the Doc and Kim travel to Ohio, but it's in the future. It's actually in 2152. So an abandoned base deep in the nature. So bit of a nature on top of the forest, or like on top of the base. It's an abandoned base, alright. So they actually have some kind of a new species living inside of it. So the Doc and Kim try to investigate what it is. So the Doc and Kim follow a path inside the base, and they see Daleks that are living there. So the Daleks actually live inside this base, but not only that, because the Daleks are actually creating a new kind of a species of Daleks, which is actually some kind of like Dalek troopers, which is like Daleks inside of uniforms, yeah, and like Dalek uniform max. Like holy shit, that could be really cool. I like saw that passing by when I looked for like cool Dalek designs, so I thought this could be a very cool idea. So there we go, the Daleks inside Ohio, down in Ohio. Just kidding. So you get the gist. The doctor tries to stop them and it works, but I really like this armored Dalek design, so I might keep it. Those Daleks probably left on a ship or whatever and float into space. That could be interesting. Alright, episode 10, which is the Great Battle of Thenia. We're almost there, ladies and chaps. So, this Battle of Thenia is actually, a science fi planet I made up, whatever. But this is actually about some kind of archaeology team trying to find some leftover pieces of the Time War, and they investigate stuff, they talk about it, what it could be. But obviously our favorite person is there, which is River Song, which is obviously like the doctor's wife, I guess, or were wife, or was going to be wife, or is she has associates with the doctor. So yeah, that's nice. She is actually calling the doctor and trying to say, but we found some Gallifreyan stuff. Come and come to us. We need to talk, and we need to know what this is. So alright, the doctor goes to her, and River and the doctor actually go to the past to see what happened here, which actually is against the time travel rules, obviously. But hey, look. There we go. They actually found out what it is, because those knights, they were fighting in the Time War, so against Daleks and stuff like that. But later down the line, we see one of those knights So the Gallifrey Knights are actually a elite group that actually, they're an elite group of the Time War, and Gallifrey sent them off to fight somewhere. But anyway, one of those Gallifrey Knights actually, might be also one of the Doctors, because he steps inside the TARDIS. What insane! You know, it will be explained in a few minutes. So there we go. And this knight will be played by Henry Cavill, which gives off some knight vibes. He's like really strong and very cool. So that's cool. And I also thought of Geralt of Rivia when I wrote this episode, which is really cool, which is obviously played by Henry Cavill. And don't worry if you think, oh man, this is going to be like a fugitive Doctor and 13th Doctor kind of thing, where there is a new Doctor introduced and we don't really know what's going on. But hey, don't worry, I'll explain in a few minutes. Alright, Brave, in this next episode, we'll be going back to London, innit? Just kidding. Anyway, so we'll go back to London present day, where the Doctor and Kim just chill out, but eventually they notice something weird going on, because some people are actually kind of transformed into Cybermen, but like not really. They're like part Cyberman, part human, but they're still kind of, still human, which is really interesting. This episode will focus on body horror with like the Cyberman and the Cyberman transforming humans into like Cyberman. Like I said, this is going to be like a mix between like series 10, where Bill transforms into a Cyberman, the Cyberwoman from Torchwood, and all the other transformations that we've seen, like James Gordon transforming into a Cyberman. They all look pretty decent, but this episode will really focus on body horror. Like really like put like a thing inside of someone's arm and screams and stuff like that. It's kind of inspired by David Cronenberg's like movies like Existence and Videodrome, and there was also one, oh yeah, The Fly. So yeah, there we go. If you've seen those movies, you probably know what I'm talking about. So the next episode is called Pain in Pairs. So the Doctor and Kim travel to Enith, which is a location the fourth Doctor actually saved from a Minotaur. So the people still owe a debt to the Doctor, because she helped them a while ago, like I said, in the story of the fourth Doctor. So obviously their looks have been changed a bit to look more like sci-fi-ish, instead of those golden robes that they wore in that fourth Doctor story. So actually there is also one hooded man inside the crowd, because they're celebrating because the Doctor is back, and party on, dudes, like why not, right? They celebrate that the Doctor is there. But there is a cloaked man, which is turns out to be a Omega man. It's going to be Omega or Omega, and he wants to take revenge because the Doctor actually captured him and banished him inside of that little thing that the space ninjas actually sold on the black market. But now Omega is free, so there we go. But eventually, on the very last scene, there is a TARDIS who appears, and out comes a character or a guy which is played by Henry Cavill, which says, "Hello there, I am the Doctor." Obviously, I had many ideas for this last two-parter special, because I was thinking about like another villain that I'm not going to name, because I might use him later down the line for these videos, but we'll see. But obviously the Doctor regenerates into different characters or different actors, quote unquote, from the first one till the most recent one, which is Ncuti Gatwa, right, at the time of this recording. But you also have the War Doctor and the Fugitive Doctor, and there are many incarnations, right? And this one, which is actually played quote unquote by Henry Cavill, is actually one in the far, 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 far future. So he doesn't really connect to any other, different reincarnations or regenerations. He just, he's in the far, 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 very far future. So I don't know. I'm not quite sure how far he is, but he's pretty far. So I don't need to worry about that, because there won't be any confusion whether or not he's going to be part of like between like some Doctors. Maybe he's like a between regeneration. No, he's just a Doctor which is in the far future. Maybe I'll do something with him later down the line, who knows. But anyway, let's talk about episode 13, which is Three of a Kind, two of the same. I really like this title. This was like the main thing why I chose Omega and this one Doctor, because the title is epic, man. Three of a kind, which is three Gallifreyans, right? But two of the same, which is two Doctors. Oh my days, it's perfect. There we go. The Doctor and Kim get introduced, and yeah, they're surprised by the new Doctor, which introduces himself as the Doctor, the 16th Doctor. Like, you know, my ginger-haired Doctor that I made up, you know, isn't sure if she can trust this new Doctor. This new Doctor has, you know, some memories, you know, of her, you know, little adventures, right? So this one is for sure in the future of her regeneration. So yeah, there we go. She and Henry Cavill, Doctor, quote unquote, stop Omega together, because Omega can't really stop two doctors, because they're literally kind of like the smartest being alive, but like multiply by two, because there are two of them. And they stop Omega, and then they call the Jadoon to you know, capture Omega and put him in jail, like I set up in series 2, man. Bro, I'm a big brain writer, man. Come on, Doctor Who, hire me already. So yeah, there we go. Let's go to the last episode, which is the Christmas special. And holy shit, this video is going to be very long. And this Christmas special is actually set during the summer, or like a sunny location, because yeah, this is the last episode of my Doctor, so she'll regenerate at the end of this episode. So in this one, where she actually is on a honeymoon, what, with Kim? Oh wait a second, what happened here? Well, it was the purpose for to have a bit of time between this one and the main series, or like, you know, some adventures happened between this one and the main series, right? And I don't really want to, you know, talk about them, because I have no idea why, because, you know, they could explain that in audio dramas, or like you know, comic books, because, you know, that's very cool. I like reading Doctor Who comics, so there we go. But in this episode, the Doctor would defeat and fight the Vord, which are first Doctor villains, I guess. And these characters can actually transform people into themselves by touching them, and they can also transform into their uniform and helmet and outfit and stuff like that. So the Doctor and Kim actually, you know, do this one last time. The Doctor goes on a ship and wrecks the ship, explodes, and the Doctor lands in the ocean. Will she regenerate? She'll probably, you know, drown to her death, or, you know, maybe she'll get blown into the ocean. But so the coolest thing is, I thought about it, when she's actually, you know, in the ocean, and when Kim is waiting for her to come out of the ocean, it would be a totally different actor. Like, holy shit, that would be so rad. Like, that would be a crazy ending, right? But yeah, I'm not quite sure about the actor. I have one actor that I really, you know, made my final decision on, which is Ray Patanki, Pataki. Yeah, I think, you know, that's an Indian last name. So this is actually a British actor that I looked up. So I haven't really seen any of his work, but still, he looks like a great Doctor. And you know, if my series here, like series 4, would you know, continue, it would be with this Doctor that I just, you know, researched and did all crazy batshit internet Google researches on. So yeah, there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you enjoyed this review, and hopefully you enjoyed this entire theme, I guess, or this entire yeah, I guess series that I made, series 1 till 3, which is this episode. I really loved making these episodes, so hopefully I'll make some more in the future, but I'm not quite sure, because these episodes are very long. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you later, and don't forget, laugh hard, run fast, and be kind. Doctor, I let you go.